This playthrough is rated M for mature.
What has happened to our beloved cruise bazaar, and are we predator enough to go out against the apex predator? Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare back here with another episode of Shadowrun Dragonfall. In the last episode, we went to Alice's and came back and found out that the Firewings mercenaries destroyed the cruise bazaar. Some people survived, some have not, and now we're just checking to see who's picking up the pieces. The only thing we suffered mainly is, other than our pride, was Amsel, our brains of the operation, got shot in cold blood by Aljernon. He will pay, but we'll have to take it step by step. We don't want to get just destroyed before we even get there. So, alright, we got quite a bit of karma to buy, so I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my decking a bit. In the next mission, there actually is a unique dialogue option for getting decking 8, which means I have to eventually get into the maximum territory. Now you're probably thinking, why don't I buy that intelligence buff that I unlocked like a long time ago? Well, the thing is, I don't know if it's a bug or if they were eventually going to fix this or something like that, but I can't, like, it doesn't bind the intelligence boost to my head, does not immediately give me access to the bottom upgrades on this thing, unfortunately. So basically it's just a waste of money for me to buy that, because if I want to go into the max of this anyway, I have to buy it with my karma anyway. So, and you can't stack the both. I have a maximum 9, so if I bought the headpiece thing and make my intelligence 9, but I'd still have to buy these anyway, so save the money and buy that headpiece and have it do something else or whatever. So, but anyway, let's go ahead and buy decking 7 for now, but we will upgrade on my intelligence a bit. I don't know if I'll get enough by the end of the game to max out all my intelligence stats, but anyway. Now the reason I want to do that is because we now have a ton of money and all the shops have unlocked the final stuff in the whole game, so now we can spend it all. So the attack, it was terrible, Blackwire. So much death. She shakes her head. I had not killed since I retired from running the shadows, not until today. But you're not here to listen to me complain. She forces a smile. So what can I get for you? Name it, I'll provide. Alright, let's get some tech from you. So, alright, now she's got the best deck in the game, the Fairlight Excalibur, which obviously Blitz gets, but since we're playing the Decker, we're going to go and buy one of those for ourselves. She's got the level 3 programs, and now that we're buying the final deck, I can afford to buy a few of the level 3 abilities. So let's buy a few of the... Let's see, I have access to 6 programs. So Blaster, Degrade, might just buy all of them, really. Some of them I won't really use as much as others, so Erosion, Killer, so that's 4. And then I have the Suppression one, which is 5. So I guess one more, so could do Medic, I guess, just in case. I think that'll work. Because the suppression program never gets stronger than this one. It never goes up to level 3 or anything like that. So now we could buy some ESP programs. I'll see how much money I've got at the end, and then we'll decide from that. So let's go with... Oh, right. I want to also buy some drones as well. I don't need to buy an outfit since I got that stuff from the lodge. So so let's buy the best drone in the game, which is the Guardian. It's a flying unit from Ares. This is one of the best combat hover drones on the market. You could also buy the Wolfhound, which does like grenades and medkit use and stuff like that, but we'll just buy the Guardian. Alright, let's confirm that purchase. So let's pop off our 2 equipment pieces. Alright, put the Excalibur on and the drone. So let's do the Guardian. Confirm. And now, at this point of the game, we're now just going to basically sell everything I'm not using anymore in my stash. So, so I'm going to sell a lot of weaker programs, stuff like that. Don't need the Doberman anymore or the Lynx. Don't need the Ballistics Cloak anymore. I'm going to sell like a lot of level 1 stuff too, or basic stuff like the Boom and Trauma Kit. I'll just buy higher level ones at this point. Med kits, I'm going to start just buying level 3s at this point, so we can just sell all that stuff. I mean, I could still use it, but I might keep the drugs, but we'll see. Let's see. Might buy some improved drone kits at this point, so yeah, we'll keep the 3s. Alright, and then we're going to sell, let's see, since I'm not going to give most of this stuff to my allies, I could probably just sell most of this gun stuff, so let's see. Let's see, don't I have equipment? So I've got the blaster, degrade, erosion, killer. Yeah, sell those. Alright, I think I'm good on that. I said I'll look at my money first before we do that, but I'm selling most of the stuff I don't care for anymore, so... Because we're getting to the end of the game, so no reason to keep low-end stuff. Might sell some of my grenades as well, so... Alright, let's see how the cafe is doing. I think Luca Dare doesn't really have anything to say. Nope. Alright, let's talk to... Huh, where's that one guy that was sitting there, that fat guy? You know, he's funny because he's fat. The Turk is pale. His eyes sunken into his head are ringed by dark circles. We are closed today, Effendi. I would have locked the door, but the lock is broken. Now I must stand guard. You look terrible, my friend. Tell me what has happened. He rubs his hand across his mouth. During the attack on the cruise bazaar, they broke through the door, heavily armed. 2 of them. They broke through the door and just started shooting. No questions, no robbery, just shooting Kami, my girl, my little street rat. He holds his hands over his face, collects himself. Yeah, Kami gets killed, so... Unfortunately, a few NPCs get killed. There's nothing you can do about it. It just happens, so... I reached under the counter. I keep a gun there, you see, and they saw. Both of them turned on me. Goldschmidt, that fat idiot Goldschmidt, flung himself in my way. How he managed to move that great mass of his body so quickly is a mystery to me. He hung there, suspended in time, as they shot him, dancing on their bullets as they ripped him apart. But... he shielded me long enough, Effendi. I was able to get my gun and end those sons of whores. Goldschmidt was your friend after all, eh? That is the thing of it, Effendi. All that time, all that bickering between us, I was serious. I couldn't stand the man, but he, apparently, it was something different to him. None of us will be the same after this. Still, it is good for us, I think, healthy. It reminds us, even though we have created our little island of stability in the cruise bazaar, it is little the flux state still. Berlin and the wolf is always at the door. If we are to keep our home, we must be vigilant, and we need people like Monica, people like you, to keep it safe. Seg Oun, my friend. Be healthy, be strong. Yeah. Little Kami we talked to throughout the whole game, you know, and asked her how her day was and everything like that. She gets shot off screen, unfortunately, so. I don't see how Aljernon held up. Probably fine, you know, usually mages do, weirdly enough, despite them being glass cannons, so. No, Absinthe is fine. The elf behind the counter says nothing. She stands in silence, staring at you. No cryptic messages this time? No prophecies? No, not after what happened here. Not today. One of the attackers came in here. Did you know what? He pushed his way past Aljernon's wards and forced himself into the shop. Her nostrils flare. He threatened us. Threatened me. You look okay. Did Aljernon take care of him for you? There was no need. I handled the problem myself. Impressive. How'd you manage that? She examines her fingernails. I lifted the veil. I showed him my true face and destroyed his mind. What the hell are you, Absinthe? Because I'm pretty sure that you're not an elf. No, I'm not an elf. I am merely a passenger in this body, a guest here to experience what you would call life, as I have 1,000 times before. You lack the means to perceive what I really am. You do not possess the sight. All said, that is probably for the best. Your species is so very fragile, after all. Well, you're right. I don't have the sight, so tell me what you are. Something beyond your understanding. A child of the astral plane, wild and free, unfettered by the bonds of servitude that chain so many of my kind. In truth, what I am should not concern you so much as what I know. They're laying on a little thick, aren't you? I know truths hidden from mortal eyes, Blackwire. I have seen things that would crack your mind into splinters, and I have come out from the other side laughing. You dismiss my words at your own peril. All right, calm down. Go ahead, say your piece. I'm listening. In my time as an observer of this world, I have witnessed a great many things. Wonders and terrors beyond measure. The birth and death of nations, the rise and fall of gods. Alright, you're only on a little too thick, lady. I have seen the ebb and flow of magic from the fourth world to the fifth to the sixth. I have watched in awe as the tides carried wonder and miracle into the world of men. I have mourned as they were swept back out again. I have borne witness as the cycle began and ended, and began itself again anew. I have seen what came at the end of the fourth world, thousands of years ago, when ancient terror crumbled into the sea. I saw the things that crawled in the carcass of that once great nation, vile, terrible things. Even now I can feel them. They drift on tides of mana, hungrily awaiting the end of the sixth world, and the death of all that you know. I have seen what you will do when this world has run its course, human. They will rip the guts from your dying civilization, and they will feast upon your screams. Hold up, who are they? Things born of nightmares, horrors. The dark spaces between the metaplanes crawl with them. She looks into your eyes, and you can feel your head swimming. Your kind fears what it can see. Corporations, dragons, violence, poverty, and the random cruelty of fate. If you could perceive reality the way that I do, you would know that there are much greater things to fear. If the world were an ocean, the hazards that you know might be sharks, dangerous creatures to be sure, and worthy of respect. But below them, in the silent deep, Leviathan circles. She turns away. Go now, Blackwire. Talk to Aljernon. After all that has happened, I'm sure he'll be glad to see you. But remember what I've told you. I will. Yeah, basically Cthulhian mythos and all that fun stuff, so. Aljernon. Salutations, youngster. I believe that the cruise bazaar is still standing thanks to you. It was a team effort. Monica would have done the same. I agree, and you have filled your shoes admirably. Now tell me, how may I serve you? I have a question for you, if you don't mind. You in luck. I have a great many answers. What can you tell me about Dante? He's not a normal dog. Indeed not. Dante is part hellhound, bred to be an elite guard dog. I assume he has manifested some of his awakened abilities? Yeah, how'd you know he was a hellhound? Monica bought him from me some time ago. He was a special order. She thought he could guard Herr Amsel while she was away on business. Is he dangerous? They're quite dangerous, yes, to those who sees as threats. Behave yourself around him, and he should prove a benefit to your team. Now, is there anything else you need to know? Nah, I've got to go. Aljernon does have a whole... Actually, I could show his shop. Basically, he has all level 4 spells for wizards, Acid Bolt, Powerball, all that stuff. He's got new robes, which improve willpower, charisma, and spellcasting. Which I almost thought about just buying, magic gear, like magic actually outfits for my character, but I decided to save the money and just get the ones you can get for free or cheap in certain locations. Ball Lightning 3, stuff like that. I hadn't really showed you could buy Petrify if I wanted to. But I don't have anyone in the group for spellcasting, so. But we also got Conjuring, so Haste 4, Hellstorm Barrier, stuff like that. We also got new physical adept stuff and consumables, so I could buy some force totems for to give to Dietrich, since he always has a couple of open slots in his stuff, even spell wise. But usually most of his spells work pretty well for him without having to really add stuff to him. But that's up to you if you have the extra cash, which I do at this point. So, all right, well, how are you doing, Metbach? Blackwire, I'm glad to see that you made it through the attack. Not all of mine were so lucky. Are you okay, Herr Metbach? Nah, I lost an niece today, but I'm doing a whole hell lot better than our attackers are. Those sons of bitches had the wrong keys. I put 6 of them in the ground personally, and when I find out who they are, where they lived, he turns his head and spits. Ain't nothing gonna save those people. He shakes his head and returns his attention to you. But you didn't come here to listen to me rage. You're after a bit of payback yourself, I'll wager, so what can I help you with? Anyway, he's got whole new final equipment of the game. Yeah, stuff doing damage in the 14 and 16 range now. Well, depending on which weapon you got. Whole new guns, machine guns, melee weapons, stuff like that. New armor, new grenades. Maybe my grenades. We'll see what happens though. So, but nothing I need immediately. Zach, how are you doing? Jesus, no. Jesus, that was terrifying. Who were those bastards? They're shooting at everyone. I spent the entire fight hiding in a dumpster. Anyway, thanks for chasing them off, pal. I owe you one. He bites his lip. The anxiety is plain on his face. I guess that's all we can do. Alright, anyway. Nothing else after that, unfortunately. But we can talk to the to this group here. Lane, let's see how he survived. Alexei Lane looks to have endured the attack on the cruise bazaar without injury. You find him surveying the damage with sad eyes. You alright? The troll shakes a heavy head, showing more weariness than wound. This should have never happened, not here. It is one thing to strike an old man whose time is done, but to attack the cruise bazaar and endanger the lives of innocents, that is unforgivable. The cowards who ordered this attack are dead, they just don't know it yet. There was a time I thought as you do, but I had made a vow to never make war again. Yet, if you hadn't been here to do so, we would all be dead. For the cruise bazaar to remain safe, it needs people like you. Even me. Alright, let's see how Samuel Beckenbauer is doing. Black. I keep forgetting voice I do from Black. Why? Well, it is a relief it is to see you alive. Samuel's face clouds. Unfortunately, many others were less fortunate. Your friend, Silk, I'm afraid that she was one of these. They caught her on the street. She and another of my volunteers were trying to shepherd one of our more difficult guests into shelter. The attackers, they opened fire. He clasped her shoulder, his eyes welling with tears. She took 5 rounds, Blackwire. Dr. Esquivel tells me that she felt no pain. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must go. I have cremations to attend to. Yeah, unfortunately, us saving Silk still got her killed in the end, despite everything. And as far as I'm aware of, nothing happens to Alexander. Dietrich doesn't say anything, so I assume he survives his encounter. Maybe because he knows how to use a weapon or something like that. So, and weirdly enough, there's nothing in the Dare Vine Killer. Like, the lady there says nothing, so she just repeats her dialogue, so that's kind of disappointing. So, hey, Simi survived somehow. In this aftermath of the attack, you're surprised to see Simi Kim has survived, with only a few scrapes and bruises. You saved us. If only I could have prevented it. Some things we can't change. We can only move on from where we are. Monica taught me that. Are you hurt? I lost my shoe when I was running, and then I fell. But Doc Esquivel found me. He picked me up and took me with him. He hid me in a drawer, gave me a blanket, and told me to be quiet. It was so dark, and it smelled, but I didn't make a sound. I heard yelling, things breaking, and gunshots, I think. If I had one of my Sims, I could have just gone inside, but I didn't, so I had to stay out here. I don't know how long it was, but when the drawer opened, it was over. I guess he finally remembered that oath. Kim doesn't seem to understand, but she nods anyway. I'm gonna go check on the others. Okay. Yeah, the Esquivel actually helped her, despite his leanings and everything like that, so I guess certain instances can change people or bring out the best of them, or the worst, depending on the situation. Let's see how the doc's doing. Blackwire. I keep mixing up people's voices and stuff like that. Dr. Esquivel gives you a once-over and nods. I see that you made it through the attack relatively unscathed. Did you have any run-ins with the attackers? No, truth be told, I was in surgery when the attackers hit, and they never disturbed my office. I spent the entire story event elbows deep in the abdomen of an elderly dwarf. His nerfetic screen needed a tune-up. That's funny. Simi Kim tells a different story. The sound of Simi's name wipes the smile from his face. He stares at you, the color draining from his cheeks. Yes, Kim. I didn't know that you two were acquainted. So why the lie, Doc? You saved her. If anything, I think you'd brag about it. It wasn't a lie, not completely. I was working on a patient when the fighting broke out. When I heard the gunshots, I ducked out of my office to find the girl. When I got back, I hid her away and went back into surgery. Thanks to a copious dose of insfurane and nitrous oxide, my patient was blissfully unaware of the interruptions. Simi also said that she heard gunshots and breaking glass. Care to revise your story any further? Esquivel's lips tightened in distaste. Please don't call her that. Her name is Kim. And yes, an attacker did break in partway through the operation. He fired his weapon into the wall and shattered some of my very delicate equipment. And how did you get rid of him? That will remain my secret. Suffice it to say that my experience in Spain gave me a newfound appreciation for high lethality security systems. Let your imagination run wild from there. There's a long pause. Esquivel tries another smile, but it falls away quickly. I don't intend to spend any longer on this Blackwire. I've always said my piece. I feel a certain level of responsibility for Kim's welfare, never mind why, so I take care of her as best I can. That's all that I intend to say on the subject, so you can talk shop or you can leave. Your choice. Very well then. All right, let's see. I'm trying to think if I want to actually buy another trauma kit. I might just need the one. Might be good for the rest of the game, actually. Well, let's look at the cyberware first. I'm actually going to finally cyberware up because I'm not going to obviously buy do magic or anything like that. So we do have the data jack, and you're probably thinking, why would I get rid of the data jack if it messes with my rigging and decking? Well, there are other options to other than the standard data jack. I just wouldn't be able to use a smart link weapon, I believe, but which I'm not even going to use. However, most of the headpieces are intelligence builds, and I don't need that for what I'm going to be doing. I guess the only one maybe would be the toxin inhaler, but I would have to get into close combat to do that one. But yeah, all of them are like +1 intelligence or +1 willpower minus intelligence if you wanted to build up my willpower a little bit, but I don't even need to buy the encephalon next. So I thought I was going to during this run, but I forgot that I can't. I would be double dipping in buying upgrading the my intelligence, and it'd basically be wasting the money and the karma, so either or. So we'll leave the headpiece alone. Now on the eyes, here's the bright light system we talked about earlier, where it has that one bit of dialogue where you can blind the guy. I mean, you can use it, but I don't know. I never found it as efficient to do so. But really, the only one I see using is possibly the eye data jack if you needed to replace the headpiece, or on the hands you can actually replace the data jack there as well with the induction data jacks. But with eyes, I'm gonna buy the laser designator because it'll give me another marked target type of ability. So put that in the eyes because we've got 2,600 unions, so I got plenty of money to spend on myself. So the arms, I don't really need strength, which a lot of the arm pieces are for. So really, all I need, I mean, I could buy the one with the quickness, since quickness helps with dodging attacks as well. And yeah, there's the dodge skill, but overall, or I could just buy one that gives me just HP. The only problem with HP is it uses up a lot of essence. So I also could do the auto injectors, which reduce my damage as well. But I think, let me look at, let me see what I want to do with the legs too. I might do the articulation ones. Those are the ones that give you +1 to dodge and quickness. Or I could do the one that gives me 4 faster movement, so I could actually get to certain locations out of the way. So let me do. I don't know if I really need the movement. My character isn't supposed to go. He's just supposed to be just far enough away where he can actually see the target. So. Let's go ahead and do the enhanced articulation on the legs. Like I said, I can get my dodge out, so that way I can possibly not get hit as much. So, and then the arms. Let's see. I have 4. Actually, do I want to keep this contractor? So I don't know. I don't know if I really need that extra AP. See, that would give me, if I gave me the heart, that would give me a +1 to dodge and movement. Which might be better overall, because I have the money for it. I can't go under 1 essence though, I have to be careful. So I have 3 essence to spend. Let's see, those cost, yeah, if I do both of the HP ones, maybe I should hold off on the HP. I was going to, but I could do the alphaware arms, which are a little bit more expensive, which gives me strength. I don't need the strength, but... Or I could do the one that gives me the quickness buff as well. Yeah, sorry. Like some of the stuff I'm not. I wasn't 100% ready to go on. So let's see. I could just give me the armor ability. There's the one where you add like +1 to all physical attributes, +2 to armor and 1 to body. Oh, that would be good. I have the money. Yeah, I think I'll take off the adrenal contractor and I think add that actually. Let's see, you don't need the charisma thing. Not anymore, not really. Because like I said, that would help me take, like if I get a free shot at a couple of times. Or do I want to do, I said I thought about just doing this one, give me the movement and the dodge instead. But body would give me an extra HP. No. That's a tough one. Man, that really is a tough one, huh? Because I could do those. I could do the arms for strength and just get the HP from them. Well, let's do the legs and the eye for now. So let me pay for that. Look at my stats really quick. So, excuse me. Let's see. The intelligence at 8 right now. Let's see. Strength at quickness. Yeah, that reduces the chance to be hit, and then dodge just helps with physical attacks. So I could just do the okay, that's why I didn't want the basic one, because that cost way too much essence to do that. Because there was a one legs I could have bought that gives you like quickness and HP, but it cost 2 essence per bit, so that would have been a bit. So yeah, getting the articulation. Of course, you can only get the articulation by this point in the game. So I guess I'll go ahead and give me muscle augmentation to give me quickness, just to help me dodge bullets and stuff like that. So. All right, and then I almost want to just give myself the pheromones instead, just to give it a good 6 charisma, because I think there is a choice somewhere that requires a 6 by the end if you want to get a certain specific ending. That would save me some time on that. Because I don't really need the body and armor. I think I'm actually pretty good on all that. So actually, then there's the one that just gives me. Oh wait, no, that's physical attributes. Never mind, because charisma doesn't count as a physical attribute, so. Yeah, well, let's leave it for now, so. We do have one more chance to buy stuff, so at this point, so. Alright, I'm decked out in cyberware at this point, so in the game. Yeah, now my essence is super low at this point, so. Alright. Alright, we still have a decent amount of money, too, so. Yeah, 12,000, so I could buy some gear for, buy something for my, my drone kit. Might buy a couple of, repairs for that, so. Although I haven't had to worry too much about my drones. I mean, some of the drones that destroy were just the super weak drones already, but. Alright, let's buy. Yeah, let's buy a couple of drone repair kits there. And then. Yeah, let's go ahead and put the Bumanoa on there. And might give myself a grenade if I have enough movement to just be able to throw that, do something for like AP damage or something like that. So, all right, okay, I think we're good to go. So let's head on to the Apex and see if we can take that thing out, so we can actually get into the Harfield Manor. Wasn't sure I was going to have a whole episode be about the Cruise Bazaar, so now let's actually do something. Assemble the team and travel to the coordinates that Alice provided to find a backdoor access panel point and shut down the Apex AI. So it'd probably be a good idea to make maybe a heavy save here, like one you might want to go back to, because there's a choice in this mission that can affect the ending of the game, but I'll tell you when you need to save as well. So, and yeah, now that Dante's become a Hellhound, he's now a permanent crew member. So if you want to swap him out for any of your other party members, I mean, he's really not bad. I mean, like I said, he's got his bite attack, which does a decent amount of damage. And really, the Petrify really helps because it basically takes out an enemy. And then all his items are jerky. So you feed him jerky to give him like little bonus treats or whatever. So that's up to you. I usually like bringing the human characters just because they have a bit more dialogue. I think Dante just has like not really a line per se, but there's something he does, but it's not like that big of a deal. So, and obviously you probably want to bring a decker. Although this mission, the decking thing isn't that big of a deal, but you could anyway if you wanted to. So Blitz isn't required really for this part. So, also if you make a certain choice in this, people have different reactions to it at this part. So, but I'm gonna bring the classic characters in this case. So, but like I said, that's up to you. So. Yeah, too bad Dante joins like at the very last bit of the game though. But, oh well. I think I know why there's a specific choice in the final mission of the game that kind of makes sense, but why you have him, why you maybe bring him with you. Apex, an artificial intelligence designed for Matrix warfare. The thought of it sends a chill down your spine. For years, the shadows have been ripe with rumors of true AI. Names like Mirage and Psychotrope have fueled conspiracy boards on the Shadowland BBS since 2029. Most savvy Shadowrunners dismiss these stories as bunk. But from what Alice has told you, at least one of the stories is real. Apex is waiting for you somewhere down in the basement of an abandoned Satyr Krupp lab. Unfortunately, you're going to have to wade through a lot of gang territory to get there. Alright, we're good to go. Do I need to... Yeah, you could buy some stuff for her. But yeah, since we bought that one gun option for Glory, now she has a full weapon montage. But yeah, we could buy something for her. And it's kind of weird that Dietrich doesn't get haste 4 for his character by the end of the game. So if you want to give him haste 4, you need to buy it for him, which basically just gives him a person +1 AP for like 5 rounds, I believe. Which means eventually when haste cools down, you can actually give someone haste twice and give them multiple stacks for like a round or two before it wears off, which is kind of interesting. But I think still most of his stuff's good. I might buy some buy some items like some fetishes for the final area to give Dietrich. Here, I don't have to worry about it so much, but Iger, same thing with her. But anyway, let's go. I've noticed most of the time I usually don't buy extra stuff for the companions because it's not as required, but well, looks like we didn't take us long to run into a gang now, does it? A huge orc in ragged combat fatigue steps forward to meet you. He walks with the swollen bravado of a man who's used to getting what he wants. One of his meaty arms jerks up, hand held upright in the universal sign for stop. The other clutches a bulky assault rifle. The orc inspects you. His body language is decidedly unfriendly. You don't look like Magnificer. You're not one of us, and I'm guessing you ain't here for the hub either. So tell me, who are you, and what are your interests in this building? I need to get into the basement. It's important. Oh, it's important, you say? He makes a sweeping gesture in the direction of the building behind him. The other assorted toughs behind him smile. Well, by all means, go on in. Intelligence 2, you're being sarcastic. Ah, you're a sharp one. He smiles at you, revealing a mouth filled with jagged teeth. This building's under arbiter protection. We can't just let you waltz in and shoot out the place. I'm not planning on shooting anything unless I have to. Well, I can't exactly take that at face value. Well, it could be better for everyone if you just turn back. We don't want to fight you, but we can't risk letting an unknown player into this. He pauses for a moment to search for the right words. Situation right now. Maybe I could help you out with your situation? Well, that puts a different spin on things. He pauses for a moment to consider. You look like you can handle yourself. We could probably use you if you'd be willing to help. There'd be even some money in it for you. But if not, well..." The assault rifle in his hand shifts position slightly. "There's a different conversation. Or that's a different conversation." "And what exactly do you want us to do?" Iger's tone is neutral, her posture relaxed, but one of her hands casually comes to rest on the butt of her shotgun. Ulrich doesn't seem to notice. We're having some trouble with the local mage gang, the Magnificers." The orc turns his head and spits. "They attacked us without warning, took up on our building, and kicked us onto the street. Me and my boys are the rightful protectors of this block, but the assholes that screwed us, they've got the building buttoned up pretty tight. We can't get in there to make things right, but maybe you can. If you could enter the building and do some damage to those Drac-eating Magnificers, the Arbiters would be willing to pay you 200 million per kill. You bring me back their ambulance, and you get paid. How's that sound?" Iger raises an eyebrow. "Your call, fearless leader. You know the timetable we're working on?" See, if you have Charisma 5, we could say 200 million per head ain't bad, but from where I'm standing, it looks like you need my help. And that tells me you can do better. "Fine, 250 per head, but that's my final offer." "Works for me." "Yeah, good. Yeah, I think this will work." Iger gives you a small nod. Her hand falls away from the stock of her shotgun. "You need anything else, or are you ready to go crack some skulls?" "I want to know who I'm working for." "I'm Ulrich, leader of the Berlin chapter of the Arbiters. We're a poly club, small but growing. We serve the people of the working class, protect them from the parasites that would exploit them." "You're not a fan of the F-State, then?" "Anarchy is not the solution to the people's problems. Do what you will is a policy that rewards only the powerful. The working class get trampled. A strong, people-centered communist movement is the only way to protect the interests of the common man. Give us a few years, and that's exactly what we're going to be." I'll say it once, I'll say it again. Communism does not work in real life. It works on paper perfectly, but in real life, it just never works. I mean, look at all the communist nations that have ever come across, like, Russia and all these other places, especially a lot of countries in Europe. They did not do very well. I mean, a lot of them fled to, other European nations in America because they wanted to get away from such bad conditions. It was a case of, powerful men took advantage of the people who generally believed in it and basically turned it against them. So, yeah, it works good on paper, but it does not work in real life. So don't fall for it. It's society. Society is complicated enough as it is, and I know where I live, it's not perfect either. So I'm not saying it's perfect, but yeah, just all of that's nonsense. So, but anyway, I want to know what I'm going up against. Tell me about the Magnificers. "A gang of parasites. They think their magical talents make them better than everyone else because of what they feel entitled to take whatever they want. Up until recently, they've been content with pulling pranks and stealing purses. Childish dreck, but they were basically harmless. Then their new leader took over. Calls himself Trithmenius, and I remember when he was just a skinny little prick named Yuri." He lets out a derisive snort. "I should have kept a better eye on him, I guess. Should have stomped him flat when he started putting on airs. Would have saved everyone a heap of trouble. Tremenius took over the Magnificers, militarized them, and convinced them that they could take us. And thanks to the element of surprise, they actually managed to do it." The orc folds his arms across his burly chest. "And any day now, we're going to show him exactly how bad an idea that was. I think I'll start by breaking Yuri's necks." "You look pretty dug in there. How long do you intend to man the trenches?" "We'll be out here as long as it takes. We're taking our building back in it one way or another. For over 3 years, we protected that place. We held it for the people to do with as they please. Kept it safe from parasites and exploiters. Everything was cool until those Drex saw Magnificers sucker punched us. No negotiation, no warning. They just turned on us out of the blue. Brought a couple of dozen spirits down on our heads. I don't even know that we were under attack until the water in my bathtub snaked up and tried to drown me. Most of us got out alive, but we've been stuck out here ever since. Just give us some time, though. We'll take the building back. We'll starve them out if we have to. And when we do, those scrawny bastards are gonna pay." Anything I should know about the building before I head inside? "You'll probably see some burnouts floating around the ground floor. They're all there for the hub. It's like some kind of church or something. Guy called Parson runs it. Between you and me, they're all batshit crazy. Not dangerous, just nuts." Well, why did you keep them around at all then? Because a lot of them are rich. They paid a direct load of rent, and we redistributed that wealth to the common man. Let me guess, you define yourself as the common man? Do you see a tie around my neck, pal? Do I look like a corporate stooge to you? We are the friends of the people, and we are the people. Don't you dare to question it. Just one more thing. I need to get into the basement. Anything you can do that help me out? Basement? What could you possibly want to go down there for? Well, believe me if I told you. You'd be surprised what I believe. Try me. Alright, I need to stop a killer AI so that I can rescue an elderly scientist from a ghost dragon. The future of Berlin could be at stake. You're right, I don't believe you. You're either lying or you're crazy. But crazy has its uses, alright. I'll get you in the basement, but it'll cost you. Yeah, close it will. Dietrich sneers. Another Bush League extortionist trying to milk us for cash. You've got the wrong idea. I don't need Union, friend. What I need is Tremendous' head on a fucking platter. Problem is, he's holed up somewhere in the building. We don't know where. Best guess, he's hiding somewhere upstairs in a room with no exterior windows. Probably someplace close. He stashed the power coupling for the elevator. He pulled it to keep us from getting access to the guns we stashed in the basement. So you find and kill Tremendous. Grab the I don't know why they did the twice with the coupling out of his apartment. Bring me that stupid amulet he's always wearing, so I'll know he's dead. He cracks a grin. Then I'll give you the control chip that I pulled when we had to fall back. Slot them both back in the elevator, and I'll take it straight to the basement. Yeah, so we had to go all the way around just to get to the basement. Yeah, it's one of those types of missions. So we could just kill him now if we want to. So, but if we have etiquette game, we have an extra little thing we could do. This deal's coming out all in your favor. If I'm gonna hand your entire territory back, you're gonna have to sweeten the pot. He shrugs. Well, you got a point there. Tell you what, like I said, we had a bunch of weapons stashed in the basement before the Magnificers showed up. You take care of Tremendous. I'll let you have your pick of the army, whatever piece of hardware you want. That's more like it. One dead mage coming right up. Good. Just remember, no amulet, no basement. Now go on through and show the little prick what it means to screw with the arbiters. Now, if you want to go through the basement, you can actually just kill both sides and do that. So that's up to you. But what will we decide to do? Will we just kill these nerdy wizards, do both, or just find our way back to the basement without dealing with all this nonsense? We'll find out next time in the next episode of Shadowrun Dragonfall. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.